What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Now, I'm hearing this question every single day, regardless if it's in a comment, regardless if it's in my Discord or the main Dragonheir Discord. What artifacts should I buy next? I managed to buy the following two. I can buy one or two more artifacts. Which one should I get? So in today's video, guys, we're going to do a top 5 best artifact from each rarity. Now, I know the main question is mainly for legendary ones, but I do want to touch down on the best rare and the best epic artifacts for beginner players that just started playing the game recently. Which one of them you should prioritize first? This video is brought to you by Dragonheir Silent Gods, so I just want to say a big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys are new around here, if you haven't tried Dragonheir Silent Gods just yet, what are you waiting for? You can download the game by clicking the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. So, heading over to my artifact inventory, guys, I have quite a few of them, right? I've got plenty of legendary dupes from the beta leading into Season 3. So this is what I personally chose to buy. Now, a lot of these artifacts are tied to the elemental affinity, right? I have the corrosion one, which is useless on anyone else. Keep in mind, while you are using one of these artifacts, regardless what it is, your character will still gain the stats. They just won't gain the bonus effect. So I can use this one on a wild character and still gain the attack, but I'm just not gaining the bonus, okay? So keep that in mind. Probably some of you guys had no idea of how that works. So, considering that I summoned a lot of dupes, guys, in terms of legendary ones, these are all of my picks. This is what I purchased in terms of artifacts. How you may notice, I got one for the fire, for the wild. I've got one for dauntless. I've got one for poison corrosion. I've got one for the aura. I've got one for shadow from the necrosis. Then somewhere here, I have one for ice blast. So I did pick one for each elemental affinity, but this was something that I decided to do just later on. I got the Flute of the King for the Radiance characters. These are definitely amazing artifacts, but they should definitely not be your first pick. Okay, so if we're gonna head over directly to the exchange shop right here, you have a lot of them that are very useful, just in general. I do want to start with the rare artifacts first, guys. Then we're going to make our way up to epics and legendaries. So starting with the very first rare artifact you should purchase. Hands down, no questions asked. You are looking to build up your damage. The main thing that you're looking to when you're progressing is to build that goblin team super fast to enable your team to deal more damage. So the volcanic disc should be the very first rare artifact you're picking, just for the simple fact that you need to sort out your goblin team. This will give you attack, this will give you HP, and a 15% damage bonus once you max it, okay? Very, very important to pick that up. Then, the next thing, of course, it is something that your healers will require. And the main thing is that the healers are playing a very important role in dungeon teams. While you might not use one in the Goblin, you will use them everywhere else. So the Luminary Order Gospel should be the second rare artifact you prioritize to purchase. Now this will come on pretty quick. You're going to be able to get the rare artifacts extremely fast because you're going to summon dupes, rare dupes and stuff, you know. But this will increase the healing. So starting with Hexandra, she will benefit a lot from the Luminary Order Gospel. So this should be the second rare artifact you should pick. Then we have quite a few different ones that are fairly nice. The Banner of Oath is another solid one that can be helpful on one of your tanks or another support character that you might have on that is going to be built pretty tanky. It will give you defense and HP, and the wearer obtains 25% extra defense when there are allies around them. So very, very important. It won't be the best for PvP because you want to spread your teams around. You don't want to group them all together. Not that great for the Grave of Venom because, again, you want to spread your troops. But overall, this is a pretty good rare artifact, and you should definitely pick that up. Then we have the Dancing Gyro. This will give you defense, it will give you attack, and it will give you extra attack speed. This will really benefit a lot Characters like Dauntless, characters from the Shadow, characters that need to deal a lot of damage with a basic attack in order to build up towards something. So the Dancing Hero should be the fourth rare artifact that you are picking up. Now, from here on, there is a bit of a debate with what should be the next one. If I'm not mistaken, the Ancestor's Bone is the one that we're getting for free, or it might be a different one that we're getting for free, and I'm kind of like getting it mixed up. But this is a pretty decent one too. You're getting extra crit damage, you're getting flat attack and percentage HP. It's not the best one for damage dealers. It's not necessarily a priority to pick that up, right? If you are looking to get some accuracy, you have the Ivaran's Arrow. This will basically increase the success rate of inflicting buffs or debuffs when using battle skills. So if you have different characters that don't have scrolls in them, this can actually help them a little bit. But you are getting accuracy and defense. I don't feel that accuracy will be a big issue early on, only once you start tapping on some higher level stages. So by that point, you're not really going to use that. The Troll's Heart, you're just gaining extra HP. I'm not a big fan of that. The Harp will basically increase your chance success rate to inflict buffs or debuffs using the ultimate skill. So it's pretty much the same situation like the Arrow. It will become pretty irrelevant later on. The Traveler's Headband reduces the wearer's damage taken by a specific amount when under control. Again, it's not going to be very helpful, but with the fifth one, it's kind of like whatever you want, you're gonna end up in getting them all anyway. Epics, that's where it becomes a bit more tricky and more important. The very first epic artifact, every single one of you guys should pick up from here without questioning it at all, is the Crown of the Unclean. This is the very first thing that will allow you to apply defense penalty on enemies. Single target, but it will be very effective against bosses. It will give you defense, it will give you accuracy, and overall it will boost your damage tremendously versus single target enemies. So, no questions asked, this should be the second one. Now, in between the second pick, again, there is a bit of a debate. It really depends what you want to do. On my recent free-to-play account that I started, I went with the Spiritual Incense Burner as the second epic artifact. Now, while I do agree, and how I mentioned it previously, you do need damage early on for your Goblin team as fast as possible to be able to climb the stages. The Spiritual Incense Burner was absolutely key for me to be able to defeat the Grave of Curse on higher stages, because this will give you ultimate energy when unleashing the ultimate skill, which will allow your character to drop down in the rotation. So if he has a 20-second cycle, 10% of it is 2 seconds, bringing it down to 18 seconds. It's going to be massive. You're getting HP and accuracy. Accuracy will be required for the debuffers, for characters that will either remove buffs or apply debuffs to the target. So this was my second pick, and I would suggest you to get this. The third pick should be without a question, because there is no more debate, the Eyeball of the Giant. This will basically increase the damage that the wearer deals with the ultimate skill. Will give you flat attack and attack percentage, so this will be a main source of power for your damage dealers. The fourth epic artifact, guys, again, there's a bit of a in here. I would say you have two options. The Arcane Music Box, which will give you crit rate and attack. You do need to have a shield on your team in order to get a damage bonus from the effect. So keep that in mind. If you're not using a character that will shield your team, don't go for this one. I have Nathaniel on the free-to-play account, so this was the fourth pick for my free-to-play account, just because I have shield for most of the time. The Scarab Amulet is an absolute fantastic artifact for tanks, PvP, Grave of Venom, even for the Temporal Vortex. The thing is, you will struggle a bit to gain the right amount of accuracy early on or on your tanks, especially if they apply debuffs. So this will make your life a bit harder, because it's going to be hard to get the accuracy. But it will shield your character when their HP drops below 30%. And this will allow you to heal back on full HP, stay alive, and basically win the fight. Very important versus the Grave of Venom. Now, in Season 1, We do have now a piece of gear that will shield you, so it works very similar with the Scarab Amulet. So I would say this dropped a bit in value since. Anti-Nias Tiara is amazing. If you are running a character that shields, you definitely need to get this. This was my 5th artifact that I purchased on my free-to-play account as a epic artifact to go straight to Nathaniel. Before this, how I mentioned, I got the Arcane Music box, but that will do my top 5. If you're playing a lot with Dauntless and stuff, you can always go for the Wine of the Dragon Blood. You can go on for different artifacts like Sylvester Horseshoe. This will be very helpful. The Mirror of the Living is a nice artifact to have because it will increase the healing, but I prefer the Book of Orderly Gospel, the rare artifact, over it in most situations because you know that heal is consistent. The Manticore is going to be great for characters that deal a lot of damage with the battle skills. But at the time when you'll debate what artifact to purchase, epic artifact, you won't be really running around with a lot of strong characters that deal a lot of damage with a battle skill, you know, so you don't have to worry about that. How I mentioned, you have the Crown of the Unclean, Spiritual Incense Burner, Eyeball of the Giant, Arcane Music Box, Anti-Nias Tiara, Scarab Amulet, depending on how exactly you're planning to play it out. Now, the legendary ones are the biggest tipping point for the majority of the players. Without a question, the first artifact, legendary artifact that every single one of you guys should purchase is the Witch's Remains. Like, there's no question asked whatsoever there. This will allow you to apply defense down AoE. It will give you tons of accuracy, HP, and it will be an absolute massive boost on all of your teams when we're talking about damage. Goblin, Dungeons, Vortex, Chief Challenges, Otherworld Event, everywhere. And this will boost your damage a lot because this will be the bigger version of defense penalty. And of course, being AoE is going to be very, very nice. So that will be the first legendary artifact that everybody should purchase. Now, talking about the second one. Again, you have a couple of different things in here. Rift Hourglass, extremely powerful in Season 1, extremely powerful in every single season. Now, the Gatekeeper Staff is not as important in Season 1 because of the Mera and the Elemental Affinity combination. But in Season 2, the Gatekeeper Staff is the absolute GOAT on Garius. This is almost like the exclusive for Garius and for most of the healers that provide a big healing, because this will generate you a shield. It will give you defense, it will give you skill haste, which will allow you to rotate your skills much faster. And you're going to get 100% of the overheal from the wearer converted into a shield. Absolutely massive. Season 2, Season 3 on Garius is super strong. So your question should be the following. Am I going to use Garius a lot? Pick the Gatekeeper Staff and pick the Rift Hourglass as the third one. If no, pick the Rift Hourglass as the second one and move over to the Gatekeeper Staff afterwards. Moving over to the next one. So, how I mentioned, the third or the second pick is the Rift Hourglass. This will give you flat 100 skill haste, will boost your rotation tremendously. It will allow your characters to rotate the skills so much faster, and you're going to gain accuracy and HP from here. So it's a very, very powerful artifact. Definitely, you need to consider that, how I mentioned. Moving over to the next ones. So, while we have a lot of them left that are very, very good, I do recently think that the Downpipe Organ climbed on the ladder a lot for me. Initially, I haven't even placed this in top 10. The main reason was because it was pretty hard to fit it in the team. But now that I have more powerful characters that can be a support character and build that character with a lot of attack and equip the Downpipe Organ on it, is absolutely massive. So this will give you a lot of attack, flat and percentage. Range heroes in the team gain 10% of the wearer's attack. So I tend to use this on characters like Zephy, characters like Ogok, which I don't have on the main account, characters like Rarity, characters that can get a lot of attack and basically share it with all of my range characters. So I do think that the Downpipe Organ is definitely a very, very important one. Now, you do have quite a few different ones, and from here on, it really depends what teams you are running the most. I do think that most of the artifacts that are extremely important are part of the Season 1. So, if you are planning to go with a lot of characters that deal derivative damage, getting the Queen's Fan is a solid option. You're getting attack, attack percentage, and derivative damage will increase by 7% per tile. So this character will always be placed at the end of the map, and you need to consider that as well. If you're running Frerbart as the main healer, it might not be the best choice, but this is a solid one. Then you do have, of course, the Solar King's Horn, which is absolutely massive on characters like Frerbart, for example. You're getting defense, you're getting HP percentage. When the wearer heals an ally, increases the ally's damage by 5% for 10 seconds up to 3 stacks. So you can get a 15% increased damage because Frerbart heals with a battle skill every second, right? And there are a few characters that do that, but he's the best example. So I feel like the Solar's King's Horn is a very, very solid option as the 5th one. If no, you can always have a look at the elemental affinity that you are using the most. Now, keep in mind, if you want to purchase the Flute of the King, you will require a duplicate from the Radiance element. If you want to purchase the Great River Lamp, you will require a dupe from the Lightning element. So make sure you are trading the right dupes for the right artifacts based on what you are looking to get, you know. I do think there are a lot of other awesome artifacts that I still haven't purchased, like the ones for Frost. I haven't purchased the one for Burn. But overall, this should be your top 5 main priority for each one of the rarities, guys, because it will just allow you to improve your teams a lot. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What would be your top 5 main picks if you disagree with my picks? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts as well. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Thanks again to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to get involved, head over to the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment or scan the QR code you see on the screen. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.